Javier Vazquez, the White Sox starting pitcher, is kind enough to join us in studio. Javier's got a great event coming up. It's called it's the first annual K's for Kids Gala. Our guy Steve Stone, you hear him here every Monday morning at 7 a.m. He will be the MC. This is taking place on August 4th at the Intercontinental Hotel. It's benefiting juvenile diabetes, a cause that's close to the heart of Javier Vazquez. And certainly, if you need more information, we'll put it up on our website. But also, you can go to www.childrensmemorial.org/KS for Kids. Or you can call 787-908-0789, or you can even email info@javiervazquezfoundation.org, and that will give you all the information you need, and you can get to that event, and it really is going to be a great one.
Cocktail reception, sit-down dinner, auction, great sports memorabilia. Mully mentioned earlier the Walter Payton autographed football, all sorts of baseball memorabilia. You're going to have plenty of your teammates there. Yeah. A lot of fun for Sox fans, great cause. And during the break, we were talking about, I'd asked you about the mechanics when you were scuffling a little bit, and you said you found Coop and some of the other coaching staff found a little bit of a flaw. And then we kind of went into this discussion about how you use video to correct some things and how the technology is caught up to the game. And you're sitting here with your iPhone, and you can do.
He's got a scouting tape of Texas on his iPhone. How cool is that? I mean, what kind of world do we live in? I remember I got my first cell phone.
I can't even text anybody.
It was like I had to call in an airstrike with the thing. It was one of these gigantic things that worked by hello, who's there? And now you've got this technology where you can do that sort of thing. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's it's really a nice tool to have, especially, when we go on the road a lot and we travel a lot, and, you're sometimes sitting down on the plane doing nothing. So, it's a good time where you can, watch video of yourself or other guys just facing the team you're gonna face next start.
What's it like having Coop as your coach? Because he's like Ozzy. He's very emotional. I mean, he's not going to hide what he's thinking at the time. He's
going to throw the pitch counter every once in a while.
That's right. Blow out a hammy doing it. It's funny, Javi, that morning he came on and he visits with us regularly, and you could tell he was in a really bad mood. And he jumped on and oh, sure, now you're a front runner. You're going to ask about Burley.
He tried to ask a nice question.
I said, what do you want, the negative question first? But anyway, that day we're watching the game, and obviously he threw the counter when he wasn't getting a call for you guys.
And all you guys were laughing too. Everybody
no one went to help him.
Yeah.
The old guys got blown out hammy, and you're laughing your head off.
That's that's part of the game. That's just fun, and we had to laugh. Coop, a great guy, and that's something that I love about our coaching staff. They're all very straightforward guys, and if they feel they have to tell you something, they'll tell you right in your face, and that's something as a player you appreciate.
He's very good at what he does. I mean, he seems to be very good at what he does. You see a lot of guys come in here that may not have had success elsewhere, and he does a very good job of kind of breaking them down and figuring out what's wrong with them. Right now, your rotation features a couple of young pitchers that one of whom, in Gavin Floyd, who didn't have much success elsewhere and seems to be getting his act together. And of course, Danks is a guy that a lot of people liked for a while and has had a great year as well. What is it like for you to be? You're still a young man, but you're kind of a veteran on this crew, especially with some of these younger guys. Obviously, you're not Jose Contreras. We don't know exactly how old he is, but what is it like for you to see younger pitchers like that coming up and see the way that Coop's work with them and what they're doing?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Coop does a great job being positive with the guys and just breaking down the mechanics and some guys and helping them realize what they have to do to get their mechanics right. And he did it with me as well. So helped me a lot with my mechanics. And help Danks and Floyd are obviously doing a terrific job for our pitching staff and for our team. And they have the talent. I mean, Danksy has the talent, and Gavin has a great talent too. And Coop has just put him over the top. He's helped him. Obviously they have a lot of talent, like I said, but Coop has done a great job with them.
Jose has the tendonitis, and he's going to miss some time here. And Ozzy said he was a little upset that he quote unquote, was hiding the injury. But it's an interesting dynamic. Guys want to pitch through. You give them credit for wanting to pitch through injuries and play and be part of the team, and yet that can also add to more problems. And was he's close to you. Did you know that he was hurting at all? Did you know he was trying to get through something physically? Because his numbers obviously aren't anywhere near where he'd like them to be and where the team needs them to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that his elbow, he was feeling something in his elbow. I mean, I don't think it was nothing serious. I didn't think so. I mean, but I guess, you know, it was bothering him enough that he finally said, well, you know, I gotta shut it down for a little bit. But you know what, as a pitcher, you know, it's so tough. I know Ozzy always tells us, you know, if you're just a little bit hurt, don't try to be a hero, you know, because, you know, in the long run it could be worse. So, you know, I think that, you know, he's got a great point, and obviously, you know, you hurt the team sometimes when you're not 100% out there. But I also, you know, as a pitcher, as a starting pitcher, I want to be out there, and if my arm is not really killing me, or I can't really lift it or something, I want to throw, and that's the way I've thought all my life. And you know, I've had with the Yankees, I had like 2 months where my arm was really bothering me, and I remember I said, well, if I can pitch, I'm going out there, you know, because I don't want to stop, you know, throwing.
You know, you look at the White Sox and the difference between this year and last year, and I think there's a couple things you can point to, the most obvious of which is the bullpen, the improvements in the bullpen, and that directly affects you and what you do for a living. You oftentimes will have to leave a game before it's completed. That's the nature of the business. It's a specialized business. When you go through an issue with Bobby Jenks, when Scott Linebrink is having problems, is it hard for you? Do you try to push it longer? Do they talk to you about that? I've seen you struggle a little bit early in games. They don't even think about taking you out. You're there. They expect to get a quality start, whatever that means, 6+ innings from you, and you usually pretty much always deliver that. Is there more pressure on a starting pitcher to stay in when the bullpen issues are there? Do you want to stay in longer? How do you separate that anxiety of the guy coming in who's untested or uncertain versus, you know, you and what you're doing in your job?
Yeah, well, first of all, if you ask me, you know, I want to be out there no matter how many pitches I got, but I know that's not going to happen. I mean, the bullpen is doing a terrific job. Everybody, you know, has a role there, and they know it. And you know, as a starting pitcher, you know what, it's good to know that you have a good bullpen, and they're gonna bail you out most of the time, and when you're in trouble, they come in and shut the door almost every time. They've done it this year. They've done an unbelievable job, and they're one of the keys that we're doing so well. I mean, because they've done a terrific job.
You know, Lou Piniella on the north side of town says, you know, he never, when he walks out to the mound, the pitchers come back to the dugout with him because he's been burned in the past where guys talked him in to stand. Does Ozzy negotiate with you, or does he come out 90% of the time you know you're coming out, or does he ask you how you're feeling? And, you know, is it more of a negotiation, or does he say, hey, that's enough, let's go?
Most of the time when he comes out, he's taking you out, you know, and he takes you out before he gets to the mound.
So there's no talk.
There's no convincing. Trying to convince him.
Signaling the bullpen.
Yeah, yes, but sometimes, you know, if it's the first time they go out in that inning, obviously they don't have to take me out. He'll ask me, or he asks whoever's pitching, how do you feel? And if you say, no, I feel good, I want to stay, then he'll let you in. But you know, most of the time, Coop goes in the first time, and then the second time, you got to take you out.
What have you ever had a blister in your finger? Have you ever had a blister? Josh Beckett had those apparently, and Kerry Wood now is out with that. You've never had any issue like that?
No.
Do you do any preventive stuff to avoid that? Is that just some guys the way they grip the ball or something?
You know what? I really have you know, no idea how they get them. I guess it's obviously the pressure they put on the finger, but you know, I've never, like I said, I've been blessed with, you know, no injuries or anything.
Perfect genetics. This explains everything.
Nothing's perfect.
I'm just kidding.
You know, we're kind of surprised that none of you guys, none of the pitchers were selected for the All-Star game, because at the time you had the staff ERA that led the league. And then we thought, okay, how about AJ? Because he calls the game, and he was having a fine season offensively. How important is he?
He's too annoying, though.
Of course. Yeah,
all the players in the league.
The other players voted, said, no, not you. We'll go with Veritek. You know, Veritek's been his weight, but that's okay. We're going with him because we don't like you, AJ. How important is he, too, even as a veteran pitcher? Does he come out and does he call the game? How do you wave? Do you shake him off? How does that work with him?
I mean, AJ does a great job of calling a game. You know, in most of first of all, the catcher's there. He puts an opinion. That's what I think. And you decide to throw because you're the guy throwing the ball. But you know, he does a terrific job. And you know, I rarely shake him during the games. I mean, I might shake him, you know, a few times. But you know, most of the time, I agree with what he calls most of the time.